Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. And that's depending where you are in the world. We're here live in London doing our nighttime devotion. The devotional is called Conflict and Courage. The title today, Preparing to Lead. 1 Samuel 17:34 and 35. When there came a lion or a bear and took a lamb out of the flock, I went after him and smote him and delivered him out of its mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. David was growing in favor with God and man. He had been instructed in the way of the Lord. He now set his heart more fully to do the will of God than ever before. He had new themes for thought. He had been in the court of the king and had seen the responsibilities of royalty. He had discovered some of the temptations that beset the soul of Saul and had penetrated some of the mysteries in the character and dealings of Israel's first king. He had seen the glory of royalty shadowed with a dark cloud of sorrow, and he knew that the household of Saul in their private life were far from happy. All these things served to bring troubled thoughts to him who had been appointed, anointed to be king over Israel. But while he was absorbed in deep meditation and harassed by thoughts of anxiety, he turned to his harp and called forth strings that elevated his mind to the author of every good, and the dark clouds that seemed to shadow the horizon of the future were dispelled. God was teaching David lessons of trust. As Moses was trained for his work, so the Lord was fitting the son of Jesse to become the guide of his chosen people. In his watchcare for his flocks, he was gaining an appreciation of the care that the great shepherd has for the sheep of his pasture. The lonely hills and the wild ravines where David wandered with his flocks were lurking places of beasts of prey. Not infrequently, the lion from the thickets by the Jordan, or the bear from his lair among the hills, came, fierce with hunger, to attack the flocks. According to the custom of his time, David was armed only with his sling and shepherd's staff. Yet he early gave proof of his strength and courage in protecting his charge. His experience in these matters proved the heart of David and developed in him courage and fortitude and faith. Preparing to lead. God was preparing David by giving him charge. See, the Bible says, take responsibility over the small things and do what you are called to do with the small things. If you can do well with the small things, you will be given greater responsibility to do bigger things. David started off as a shepherd boy. And as is said here, he looked after his sheep. When a lion came after them, he went for the lion. When a bear came after him, he went for the bear to protect his sheep. And that was his job. That's what the job is of a shepherd, to protect, guide, and protect his flock. That's the job of a pastor, to guide and protect his flock. David cared for, guided, protected all the sheep in his charge. And this is what God put him in place to do, to teach him and prepare him to lead the people of Israel. As it says at the end, his experience in these matters, his experience dealing with the sheep. See, all this is used metaphorically. The sheep of God's pasture, the people of Israel. The sheep under the charge of David would soon become the people of Israel. And in this time David was looking after these sheep, he developed courage, fortitude, and faith. What do you have charge over that you should care for, guide, and protect?